morning. This is Pike in Anchor Point, Alaska. I just got up, getting some coffee in me, going to do some reading for us. I'm going to spend my day doing some paperwork that I have to get done. I'm not going to really go anywhere today, I don't think. I'm debating maybe going for a walk in the woods, but we'll see. It's so icy out. I think I'm just asking to get injured if I do. We don't have really any snow. It's supposed to snow today. I haven't even looked out the window. I guess I better see if it did. No snow, just frost and ice. So I'm going to do some reading for us and just kind of hang out at home today. Celebrated St. Herman last night on St. Spiridon at church. I'm going to read the Nativity of the Lord, Holy Light, Joy, and Mystery. It'll be the first reading that I do. By Archimandrite Mihail Danulius. I invite you to look carefully at the icon of the birth of the child Jesus, so that we can see beyond colors, execution, and style, Jesus himself, God present in our history and our lives, in the family of Bethlehem, but also in our families, in the churches where we gather to glorify his holy nativity, but especially in our hearts. This one's from the USSR. Christmas of Christ, it says in Slavonic at the bottom. You can see this is a special icon. It changes and more stuff appears depending on the light that shines on it. Year after year, Christmas rests on the porch of the soul of each of us, accompanied by a whole procession of holy experiences and blessed traditions. When a group of carolers makes known to us the wonderful news of the birth of Jesus and the hardship of fasting, the prayers, the love, and alms performed by each one, according to his or her strength, turn our souls into a cave welcomed in anticipation of the Holy Child. Everything seems to be detached from an endless joy, and we become fairy-like characters in the history of God's humanity. Wherever you turn, breathtaking paintings delight your eyes and your hearing. At the windows, carols; in the streets, bands of heralds of the Holy Nativity; in the air, bells and rings, or the sounds of rattles; in churches, songs of praise to God; in the homes of the faithful, Gentiles, friends, guests, much joy; and on the table, selected dishes. No matter how enchanting today's holidays are, no matter how many millions of light bulbs are lit, breaking through the darkness of the night, no matter how tempting the hustle and bustle of shopping, no matter how many gifts we give or receive, yet it seems only as if once the holidays were more persistently enveloped in the fragrance of holy traditions and piety. Who can forget such moments that have beautified the immaculate age of childhood, filling it with joys? We all unravel from the notebook of the time such unforgettable experiences and events. Talking about the holidays with all their possession of traditions, all their procession of traditions, star songs, wishes, preparations, worries accompanied by endless hopes for better. With their flood of lights and shadows, I felt entrapped by sweet memories with great tributes and merciless blizzards, by indelible images from which I want to share with emotion and delight. Thus, I remember that in my childhood we all waited, but especially us, the mosquitoes, for the snow to be sifted out of the air. The smoke piled up in the quiet chimneys of the houses of the people of McGee's reminded us that we had to leave the squirrel a little bit, giving a respite to the endless games and the mischievous sled, to take shelter at the mouth of the stove, unwinding our frail bodies torn by the winds or torn by the frosts that prowled the day. Around Christmas, everyone was in a relentless hustle and bustle that animated the streets of the village, until recently deserted or awakened only by the voice of a hoarse dog who wanted to show his owners that he deserved the bread forest he received for his services to the household. The grown-ups with theirs, we, the children, with ours. After St. Nicholas, groups of carolers and haters were formed. With a seriousness detached, it seems, from ancient times, they gathered at the house of one by one, starting at the rehearsals, but also the quarrels, the deposits, or various affairs as between grown-ups. In the evenings, deafening sounds of the Dobe, Buhai, Harapnika intertwined with the voices of carolers. This is translated from Romanian, so some of the words are going to be different. And haters engulfed in the village. Each part of the day had its specifics, and the evening was reserved for the preparations of caroling. The cold mornings were disturbed by the voices of the poor piglets who roiled the sky that their supper had come, announcing the abundant meal of the householders on the holy day of celebration. On the eve, a day or two before, the village priest would start with the icon to announce to everyone that Christ is born not only in Bethlehem, but also in the hearts of those who receive their souls and homes for their touching encounter with the divine odor. Many boys animated the coming of the servant of the Lord with energetic cries. Chiralessa. The housewives, with their sleeves rolled up, finished cleaning rooms, were preparing to brown the chubby cakes, eager to warm up a little. When they heard the cry of Chiralessa, they threw away their hearths or aprons full of flour, a sign that their hard work. They sat quietly next to the rest of the family, receiving the blessing of the priest. The most generous feasted their spiritual shepherd with a traditional cake called Pelacute Domnulu, or cake with julfa, which today has become a rarity on the Christmas table. After the priest's passing, awaited with great emotion, the lady generously rewarded the children with apples, nuts, or sweets. The evening of the Nativity of the Lord was enveloped in a mysterious and beautiful light, which transformed the darkness of the night into an endless east. We used to go caroling, accompanied by our brothers, neighbors, or schoolmates. The voices of the numerous bands broke the silence of the evening. Oh, what wonderful news was suddenly heard at the householders' houses, putting themselves, even unintentionally, in an admirable competition. Which group sings more beautifully? Who is heard louder? Generously, the host gave us sweets accompanied by a gologan, and we promised them to return to ugly and sewing. I sit now and ask myself if the householders to whom we brought the news of the birth of the Holy Child had offered us nothing, would we, the young people of that time, have caroled them? In childhood, we didn't even have such a problem. Our parents told us, this is tradition. If you don't go, Santa Claus is not coming. Baptized by the communist with the cold, serene name of Gorilla, to understand that this custom, in addition to the pennies or sugars received, was part of an order frozen between old desires, so I fulfilled it with unbridled joy. So much can be said about the Christmas holiday. I have only challenged you in the hope that each one of you will continue to share sweet memories of the beautiful feast. Let us not forget that the Holy Nativity of the Lord is a part of the history of God's love for us. This love is the light that dispels all our darkness, helping us to unravel the mystery of God's humanity. Therefore, I invite you to look carefully at the icon of the birth of the child Jesus, so that we can see beyond the colors, execution, and style, Jesus himself, God present in our history and in our lives, in the family of Bethlehem, but also in our families, in the churches where we gather to glorify his holy nativity, but above all, in our hearts. God bless you, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back on a little bit later to do some more reading for us. God bless. Thank you for joining. Good to see you, Alex. God bless.